Hello, this is Wes Fryer with Moving at the Speed of Creativity and playingwithmedia.com, and this is a screencast to talk about commenting on WordPress blogs and to give you some different recommendations of free plugins that you can use to deal with comments. WordPress is one of the most popular blogging platforms and content management systems, and you can run it on your own website by downloading and installing it from wordpress.org, or you can also use the hosted version, which is on wordpress.com. Both of them are free, although if you host yourself, you have to pay a web host to go ahead and host it for you. WordPress.com has some more limitations in that you can't just install any kind of plugin that you want. But commenting is really a vital part of blogging. In fact, I'd go so far as to say if you set up a blog and you don't have comments turned on, it's fair to ask why have a blog? I mean, the interactive web is the most visited and most all the sites, I guess I should say, which are the most popular in the world today are the ones which allow for interactivity. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, websites that are allowing folks to create content and to comment on other people's content. Here on my Playing with Media site, I've got recent comments, and I reply and respond to comments when people are posting things. Let's see, this was a little while back, but we can see that Melanie Landrum posted something on this post about visualized sticky learning, and she, asked for some information, actually about one of my books, and I replied and, gave her some links. And what I have found certainly to be true in the last 3 to 4 years, or I don't know exactly how many, is that comments on blogs are much more rare because people, number one, have always lurked more than they've commented, but also people are using social media like Twitter and Facebook and other places like that to leave a lot of their comments. So commenting is rare, but it's still really important. And so what I'd like to do is show you a couple different options. Now, the first thing that I totally recommend in every case you turn on and activate is a free plugin called Akismet. And Akismet has been around for quite a while. You need to actually get a WordPress key. So you have to register on the Akismet site for a WordPress key. But once you do, then it is going to basically take care of most of the spam that you have on your site. This one plugin, which is free by itself. Now I'm going to go ahead and update my Akismet, and this is something that you periodically have to do with your plugins when you have your self-hosted site. So I just click update, and now it is updated to the latest version, and I can go over here on my sidebar and click on Akismet, and I can see what my API key is. And that's where you've got to enter in the key that you register. So you go to the Akismet site, you register for a key with your email address, and then you get it and put it in here and save the changes. Here's what it does for you. I'm going to go ahead and click on comments, and I haven't been here for a while, and this site does get a fair bit of traffic, and so this isn't necessarily representative of the amount of spam you're going to get. But up here at the top, you can see that I have 14 pending comments. I have 26,000 spam messages, which is a lot. And usually I don't even take a look at what those are. You can see a bunch of these are in, I don't know if that's Chinese or an Asian language. I'm just going to click empty spam, and all of those messages are going to be deleted forever. Since I've got 26,000 of them in this particular site, it's going to take a little while, longer than it might normally, to delete them. But it is possible, I think, for you to set up Akismet to automatically delete spam messages every so often, every 30 days or something like that. But Akismet takes care of the vast majority of spam messages that I receive on the WordPress sites that I maintain. And like I said, it's going to take a little bit longer for this one to clear out because there are so many. But it's going to actually clear out and zero out, and then we'll go ahead and take a look at the pending comments there, which some of those are going to be spam, and we'll deal with those individually. But 14 is a manageable number to take a look at. 26,000 obviously is not. So Akismet is fantastic. The next one I'd like to talk about is one called just Captcha, and I've tried different plugins. I really like the simplicity of this one. This plugin just basically prompts you with, it's free, and it just prompts you with a little math problem when you want to leave a comment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say visit site, but I'm going to open this up in an incognito window here in WordPress, and that way I'll see this as people do when they're not logged in. I'll go ahead and click on this recent post that my fourth grade daughter put up here, and I can see that when I leave a comment, I'm going to need to put in my name and my email and a website, and then I leave my comment, but then there's this real simple math problem, 8 minus blank equals 6. So this is serving the function of a CAPTCHA, which is proving that I'm not a machine, and that plugin does a great job of reducing spam. In fact, I may, now that I'm thinking about this, go ahead and put that on my mapping media site, because if I go over here to my comments and take a look at the comments that I have on this site, I've got 12. Now, it all varies, how much traffic your site is going to get, but a CAPTCHA, in addition to Akismet, which I'd use both of them, a plugin like this CAPTCHA is really going to reduce the number of spams that you receive. So just to show you kind of the difference of how quick this is going to be, I'm going to click empty spam. There's only 12, and boom, they're gone. So no pending messages, pending comments to approve. Those are all in spam. I guess I should also say that under settings in discussion, I definitely recommend that you turn on the option to require that you have to approve them. In this case, I have comment author must have a previously approved comment. But if you want to make sure that every time a comment gets approved, you just check that box that says comment must be manually approved, and then you can, down here at the bottom, click Save Changes. So that plugin again is simply called CAPTCHA, and I'll put a link to this in the show notes for this video and on the blog post where I'm putting this. I'm going to go ahead and click back over here to playing with media, and so we can see that 26,628 comments have been permanently deleted. So those are all gone. Now I can go ahead and click over here on pending, and I can manually go through and take a look at these. And I'm just going to click spam. Most of these are spam. It's not the case that all the comments are spam here, but you can just kind of take a look. And why is there so much spam on websites? Well, a lot of people are seeking money, and Google rewards those that have a higher page rank. And so while these kind of things have changed, basically a lot of people have tried to game the system by putting comments to increase the number of link backs that they have to their website. So that's a major reason why there are so many spam comments. So I have two that are left here. I'm going to kind of check these out. So what I usually do is I'll just open them in a new window. This is called a trackback. I think that's what it's called, or a pingback. And it really varies on whether or not these are legitimate or whether they're spam. This one's being kind of slow to load, so I'm not sure what's going on with it. But usually I'll just look to make sure that it's a legitimate site, that somebody is writing about the post that I did. They're not just cross-posting it or something like that. And so it looks like they're talking about playing with media, and they've got a description of my book, and this looks like a legit site. So it's not just a scrape site that is scraping content. So I'm going to go ahead and approve that, which is again a pingback, and then this is another pingback here as well. And this is a really nice feature of blogs because you can find out when people are talking about your content. So here's a post that I think a student has written for a course, and they're linking to my site. So I'm going to go ahead and approve this, and what that will do is it will have that comment show up on that post and or that pingback. And it's just a way of showing that conversations are happening around content on your blog. So that was an example of moderation. Let me talk about two more really quick. On my main blog, Moving at the Speed of Creativity, I use a plugin that is called Disqus. And this is a bigger commenting system to install than just a regular plugin, because it actually it migrates your comments over to this other system. I don't pay for this. This is free. I use the free version. But it lets you then moderate your comments, and I've got all of mine approved over here in Disqus, but if I didn't have any, I could click here on pending and approve them. And one of the reasons why I like Disqus, and I'll show you what this looks like on the front, Disqus used to have the ability to show when people were actually tweeting about your content, and that's one of the reasons why I had installed it. I'm going to scroll down here and take a look at recent comments, and I don't know, let's take a look at this one where someone posted on. Oh well, okay, that's going to go to there. This is the track back, so I can see that what the name of their post was. I can scroll down to that again. I can see the name of their post and then what post it was on mine. So this is the post about becoming a connected educator. And when I click on that, it's going to come up, and at the very bottom of the post, it's going to show me the comments as well as the trackbacks or pingbacks that are associated with this post. And so here it is. I like the way that Disqus works, even though now it's not showing you the pingbacks, or I'm sorry, the Twitter conversation and things like that. I don't know why, but they took that out. But anyway, Disqus is another option. It's free, and you can install that by searching for the Disqus comment system, and then you can install it. But again, it's a bigger deal than some of these other plugins that I'm talking about. The last one that I'll mention, I used to use, I don't use it now. It's from a project called reCAPTCHA, and they digitize different documents, but they need to know what these words say that they've digitized. And the optical character recognition software that they have is pretty good, but there's some things that they can't identify. So WordPress has a free plugin. Actually, I think there's several, and this one is called WP reCAPTCHA. Whenever you install a plugin, it's important to make sure it's legitimate and it's not going to hijack your site or allow people to, distribute malware or capture your passwords or anything like that. One of the good ways to look at that is to see the number of downloads and the ratings, just like you can do for the iTunes store. So this one has over 500,000 downloads. It has 115 5 stars. That's telling me that it is a very well evaluated plugin and is probably a good one to be using because of all of those evaluations. So I hope that has been helpful to you. I want to encourage you, if you use a blog, please, please, please turn on commenting. Yes, you can definitely turn on comment moderation. In fact, with any kind of blog that you use with students, I highly recommend that you have comment moderation turned on. But if you've been overwhelmed with comments before, particularly on a WordPress site, I hope that these suggestions that I've given you will help out as far as thinking about your options. So remember that you've got choices. You've got Akismet, which is free. You've got this CAPTCHA plugin, which is a simple math problem that it's going to ask you for. You've got Disqus as a more comprehensive commenting system that you can look at. And lastly, you've got reCAPTCHA. All of those are great options, and they're all free. So check them out, and please turn on commenting on your WordPress blog.